What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web here, along with the JP Peterson Show, after your Tampa Bay Buccaneers take care of business over the Pittsburgh Steelers 17-14 in a game where the second half, it truly looked like a preseason game. Can we just all say that? Thank God the preseason is almost over. But how do we start off this show? As you know them, you love them, you got to have them. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. We'll be getting live with JP Peterson here in just a moment. Getting him on here, getting his thoughts about the game. Definitely hearing from you tonight, as the phone lines are always open. But let's go ahead and, again, intro the show. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. So without further ado, let's go out to him, my partner in crime right here, Mr. JP Peterson of the JP Peterson Show, after the Bucs take care of business over the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think we can all say at this point what a difference a week makes, as Kyle Trask comes down to earth and Teddy Bridgewater shows you why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tabbed him as most likely the backup quarterback for this team in 2025. Welcome to the Evolution, my friend.
What's up, Peter? I guess the headline of tonight is, Teddy Bridgewater was not brought here to be the third string quarterback, right? We've been talking about that all week. You know, I said it's just a matter of time before Teddy takes over that spot. I didn't think it would be this quick, quite frankly. I thought it might be like week 3 as he gets up to speed with the offense. But just, before we get into some of the specifics, just with the naked eye, I mean, how much easier does it look with Teddy Bridgewater running the offense, just right down the field, such a natural thrower of the ball, great touch on the throw to Bucky for the touchdown, even better touch on the corner route to Ibuka, just drops it right in his lap, right on the sideline. Great coverage in both plays, but there is no defense for a perfectly thrown football. And what do you see from Trask on the first one? He tries to check it down and he dirts the ball to the running back 10 yards away from him. He has a third down play and he's got 18 coming across the middle, and he throws it on his back hip instead of out front on a crossing route. That's never going to work. And it's just what we've been talking about with Kyle Trask. And then he takes a sack because he doesn't process fast enough. And Rondé even mentioned it. He said, you just can't hold the ball that long in this league. And if you do hold it, you better move out of the pocket and make a play like Teddy did. Teddy has that clock in his head. When it's time to go, you got to go. And if you either throw it away or move out of the pocket and make a play, and we saw him do it. It's just the difference between a guy who's played 78 games in this league and a guy who's played basically none. And, Kyle Trask is who he is, and he's just not good enough to be a backup quarterback in this league for a team that's this good. And that's why they went out and got him. And I think I think it's very evident that he doesn't have confidence in Kyle Trask. And I thought it was very interesting that Todd Bowles and maybe Grizzard himself decided to start Bridgewater tonight. I mean, I thought Trask would get the start and he would work with the ones. So why did Bowles start and Grizzard start Teddy tonight? I think for 2 reasons. One, they wanted to see him work with the ones because he hasn't really worked with the ones. If you listen to his post-game press, a little interview there with Eileen after the game, he said, I really haven't been throwing to the ones. I've been throwing to a lot of the guys down the depth chart. I love the way he said that, down the depth chart. Very nice way of putting it. and so even the fact that he hasn't thrown much with Ibuka and Bucky, he hits him right in stride for touchdowns. Hits Shepard on the 4th down play, right in stride, as cool as can be, finds him over the middle. I know he was wide open, but he gets through his reads, and he's been here for a freaking minute and a half. Yeah. Kyle's been here for 5 years, and he can't process that quickly. And I know a lot of guys on Twitter, I was putting it out there, and a lot of people were, he was working with the backup offensive line. He was working with scrubs and blah. I'm like, listen, that has no bearing on whether he can process the plays quick enough, and he just doesn't do that. A great guy. I'm not anti-Trask. It's evident what you see on the field. Teddy's been here literally for 2 weeks, and he's already better at this offense than Trask is. So I think Trask will be around. They'll carry 3 quarterbacks, but I think at some point, obviously this is Teddy's job to lose. As far as some other things go, injuries are a huge part of this, Peter.
Jalen McMillan. I mean, that pass is high, but
that wasn't great.
It wasn't a great pass, but listen, at the end of the day, nobody else is going to catch it besides McMillan, or it's going to go over his head. But it's a tough play because when McMillan goes up, he falls down and he hits his back, his neck. He was evaluated, taken off the field at that point. You already have a situation where you're down with the receiver there and Chris Godwin. So that's a scary situation. Hopefully it's nothing serious, but anytime.
Well, have you seen this? I'll see if I can put it up to the camera.
Put it up there. Yes. I didn't see it. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, he's got a neck brace on.
Yeah. I mean, it can be precautionary, for whiplash, as some people are saying on Twitter. It doesn't mean he's out for the year. I'm not saying that, but it doesn't look, that's not good. No. Not good to be in a neck brace. So
right.
We still don't know.
A lot of people would say, why is he playing in the first place? And again,
Joe Bucs fan, by the way.
Right. Well, there you go, Joe.
Listen, Peter, I know that's going to be a lot of the talk, but at some point you got to play football and get ready. At some point you have to play football and get ready for the season. It's an injury sport. It is what it is. I mean, you just hope that these things don't happen, but I'm not one of those people that just says, let's put everybody in bubble wrap until the first part of the season. I just don't believe in that because I don't think you're going to be ready. And every freaking game counts. You got to be ready from the get-go. And it's just part of the game. You got to develop depth, which I think the Bucs have. They've got some decent depth. But I don't want to hear that. I know people are going to keep talking about, why are we playing our starter? What? Because you got to get ready to play freaking football. You don't get ready to play football sitting on your ass.
No.
You got to get out there and play. Now, should Mike Evans be out there? Should Levante David be? No. But some of these other guys, just Bucky Irving's second season. He's got to learn. He's got to get ready. His body's got to get ready. Jalen McMillan has got to get used to working with Teddy Bridgewater at some point, right? I mean, these could all be very valuable reps. So it is what it is. I just don't think you can bubble wrap teams and then send them out week 1 and get ready to play. But that being that what it is, I did make a list of the injuries. Christian Izien has an oblique injury from tonight, and I know a lot of you don't think much of Christian Izien, but he is a jack of all trades. I think he's the best open field tackler we have in the secondary. He makes plays. He made plays tonight. We're going to miss him for however long he's out. Oblique injuries, that could be, as much as a month, depending on the severity of the oblique injury, because you can't do anything without your torso. So right. J-Mac with the neck, obviously. J.J. Roberts Thursday in practice got carted off with a knee injury. So now suddenly we're pretty thin at safety. Don't forget Rashad White has the groin injury. We're not sure how serious that is. Godwin obviously is going to not obviously, but looks like he's going to be on the PUP list to start the season and miss the first 4 games. We haven't even seen him run yet. Wirfs obviously has the knee. We're thinking he'll be back maybe first, second, third game. We don't know. And then of course David Walker's out for the year with the ACL. So that's a good list of injuries. I don't know if I'm missing anybody, key injuries, but that's a nice list there that are starting to build up on this team. So this is the thing. Look, it's a great roster. We all got that. The only thing that's going to derail this team is injuries, and right now, it's not good. It's not good.
Nope, it's definitely not good. We're on the Sports Web here live on the post-game edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television in collaboration with the JP Peterson Show. I'm your host, Peter Blake, along with the great JP Peterson. Once again, another thing that you would have to say besides Trask and, of course, Bridgewater. But, with the defense, once again, causing turnovers, they were able to do that tonight. In fact, 3 turnovers caused?
3 more picks, yeah.
I mean, that's I get it. Everybody's, it's preseason.
I don't care.
Right. This is one of the things.
We had 7 picks the season
whole year. Yes.
Whole year. We have 6 in 2 preseason. I don't care if it's scrubs.
Right.
But look, it's more than that. I've been out at training camp almost every practice, and it's just a completely different philosophy defensively, especially in the secondary. It's a lot of sticky man-to-man. It's no more this soft zone defense. There's an emphasis on attacking the ball and being aggressive, which there just hasn't been over the last couple of years for whatever reason. But that's changed. Zion made a great play. I mean, I've talked to Zion about this a couple of times, and he's from a rookie to where he is now. He talks about that moment of decision. There's a moment of a decision when you're in the middle of a play where you have to decide, I'm going to go for the ball or I'm just going to tackle the man and bring him down. When you start to get more confident in your play. Remember, he came from a very small school. When you start to get confident in your play and who you are and what you can do, you start taking more chances. And the coaches have been kind of pushing him to take more chances. And that's exactly what he did on this particular play. He was in that trail position, and instead of just going for the tackle, he went for the interception and he got it. And a nice snatch with the ball. And hopefully that'll give him even more confidence to be more aggressive, because, often he's in really good position and doesn't really go for the ball. So that's being now the coaches are telling him to do it. They'd rather have him go for the ball and try and make a play than maybe play it a little bit safer. So I like that. I like that part of it. Valdor got another interception that suddenly, a guy that we brought in kind of late is going to be a very, impactful player for this team as the secondary numbers start going down. Maybe the biggest beneficiary tonight was Shiloh Sanders. With Izzian going down, the numbers are starting to go in his favor. He might be able to make this team if he can step up and make some plays. But
did you hear from him tonight? Because I didn't hear a lot. I didn't hear a lot.
I didn't see much. I don't
know. I don't know.
I will admit this though.
Right.
I may have taken a bit of a snooze in the third to fourth quarter there somewhere. So I may have missed the play too.
Well, that's okay.
Completely honest.
I think a lot of people did that, JP, in the second half because it was just bad football. Tez Johnson showed some flashes of brilliance. I definitely think the Bucs have found their return man. And then if McMillan is out, and you hope he's not, maybe that's a guy that steps in. I get it. He's 154 pounds, but he just has something different. He made a knucklehead play tonight, though. Yes,
he made a knucklehead play tonight. But you know what, though? I would much rather him do that in the preseason and it just be burned into his brain than have him make that mistake in the regular season. So, and it really is a blessing in disguise, because sooner or later, rookies are going to try to do something stupid like that. So it's better it happens in the preseason where everybody on that coaching staff and everybody would make damn sure that doesn't happen again. So that's, it might be a blessing in disguise.
Well, listen,
I saw a little bit from Chris Braswell tonight.
There it is. That's what I'm going to get on. Yes.
It was funny on that particular play that he got the sack. I just kind of I said, I'm going to watch him. I'm going to zero in on him in this play and see, this is a moment. I think it was a third down. I said, this is a moment he needs to get after the quarterback. And he made a really nice outside move, beat the tackle, and got the sack. I know they were talking a little bit. Some other defensive back came in there as well, but that was all Chris Braswell's sack right there. He had a really, really nice. That was a nice move. It's the first time I've seen him, really take a hard charge to the outside, kind of, dip his shoulder a little bit, get underneath the tackle, and get to the quarterback. He had a good night tonight. Sean Tucker, I thought showed some good stuff. Jacob Parrish, same. We've been seeing it all through training camp. This kid is just a play maker, and you heard Rondé talking about him tonight. Both of them are third-round draft picks, both a little bit small. But we're not making him Rondé Barber yet. But boy, he's got those instincts. He knows how to close and make plays. You notice that? I just talked about that moment of truth where you're either going for the ball or going for the man. He don't care about the man. He's going for the ball, and he makes plays.
You mean a guy that's been here less than a year is a lot better than Jamel Dean, which, by the way, another wide receiver. And I get it. People are going to say, well, according to Pro Football Focus, he's your number one corner. Okay, but how many times, JP, do we have to see free release from a wide receiver? I get it. Tyke Smith may be responsible for the inside there, but the wide receiver runs right past him. You don't see that with Parrish. Like you said, you see instincts, you see physicality. Here's a rookie who wants a spot. Jamel Dean was not interested, especially that drive where Pittsburgh scores, because not only do you give up a 42-yard play there, also a pass interference, and then eventually he gives up a touchdown, and Bucs fans just moaning and groaning. This is the same.
Yeah.
I mean, what did you see from Dean tonight? Because I saw the same thing I think you did. A player that is so inconsistent and sometimes just disinterested and putting.
Yeah, he looked disinterested tonight, and it's a preseason game. You've been in the league. You won a Super Bowl. I get all that, right? But I'm going to tell you what. And one guy I forgot to mention on the injury list is Ben Morrison, who has a hamstring. And I'm going to tell you one thing. If Ben Morrison wasn't hurt, he might be pushing Dean for that starting spot right now because he was playing great football. And I expect him when he comes back from injury to play great football. So, yeah, Jamel Dean is on a short leash. I don't think there's any question about that. They're, obviously with the injuries to Izzy and Roberts, who are, more safety types, I get that. But still the secondary, they're all playing different hybrid positions. They're all moving around.
Yeah.
Bowles told us the other day when I asked him about nickel, he mentioned every defensive back is playing nickel. So it really is kind of positionless back there in a lot of different ways in the different packages they're playing. So anybody goes down, it kind of affects the whole secondary. So when these guys get healthy, Jamel Dean cannot play disinterested, cannot play like that because his ass is going to be on the bench. Yeah. So that's what depth does for you. And frankly, that's why they drafted Ben Morrison to light a fire under Jamel Dean or take his place or both, So when Ben Morrison comes back, and I don't know how close he is or how severe that hamstring is, right? But yeah, Dean's on notice. There's no question about it. And tonight was not a good night for him.
Yeah, definitely not a good night. I don't know who had a worse night. Was it Kyle Trask or Jamel Dean? And both of those players you expect more from. I don't care if Trask is playing with backups. He's played with those backups before. You're talking about on the broadcast, throwing behind a receiver that you should have chemistry with a rack, Jerry. That's unacceptable. Yeah. And it's just, again, I get it. Pressure is getting in his face, but how many more excuses do you got to make for this guy? And then the same thing with Dean. What are we always talking about? Inconsistency. He's got all the potential, but he doesn't intercept the ball. He doesn't make enough plays. He's not like Parrish. He doesn't have the instincts. He's not willing to put his nose in there on most, plays. And then on top of it, he's not able to stay healthy. So more than likely, Benjamin Morrison is going to win that job because that Dean is either going to be inconsistent, be benched, or get hurt. And Morrison will probably take the job from him. Now with the injury to Christian Isian, do you think there's a possibility because it's an injury? It's going to be
oblique injury.
Oblique.
I think that's what the Bucs said. Yeah.
Do you think Parrish now? Do they play Parrish at nickel? I heard this idea today being put out by Joe Bucs fan. They do a great job there on the radio station, but I mean, you got to get this guy on the field. He's so active. Yeah. I get it. He's young. Do you think that this could be where Parrish steps into that nickel role now with the injury situation?
Yeah, I think he was already there, to be honest with you. But yeah, I think if you lined up today in nickel, it would be Dean and Parrish and Zion, and then you got Winfield and Tyke at the safeties. So yeah. I think that's your top five right now. And then after that, it gets thin, boy. I tell you what, Vildor is definitely stepping up and been very, very consistent play. The guy they just signed, 11, Vane, had a couple of picks in the 11 on 11.
JV Farr, I believe his name is.
Farr, yeah. So, I don't know. We're getting kind of thin, obviously. So. But I think if you're starting tomorrow with he starts in the nickel, I think that's where it would be.
Yeah, I mean, again, and again, it is preseason football, but you could definitely take some things out of it. Guys, want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on tonight's performance after the Bucs get a Chase McLaughlin late field goal there to beat the Steelers? Thank God.
Money. That guy just doesn't miss, man.
Always. And listen, he gets a 43-yarder early on in the game, but the Bucs get a break, of course, because we didn't talk about this, a penalty with roughing the kicker, so it takes the points off the board. And at that point, you get a break. And once again, talking about it, Bucky Irving, I get it. He didn't have the rushing yards, but he is a multi-dimensional threat, and I think he's going to be even more. He could be even more than that coming into the year. Let's go out to the phone lines here. You're on the Sports Web post-game edition after the Bucs beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 17-14 in collaboration with the JP Peterson Show. Abraham, go.
Yeah, go ahead. I was very disappointed in Kyle Trask. Oh, my God. What is this? Oh, my God. What am I looking? And then Jamel Dean's back at it. There's a reason why they drafted those two cornerbacks. It's just evidently showing that he sleeps on coverage. I mean, he let that big play. I mean,
it was it was reminiscent, and this is a bad memory. This is when Brady goes to San Francisco and the Bucs get their doors blown off, and you can always remember where it's Brandon Ayuk running right past him for 75 yards, and Jamel Dean is doing his best impression of the old lady of "I've fallen and I can't get up." He falls right on the ground, and Ayuk runs right past him. That's what you saw tonight, whether the safety had the inside coverage or not. We've seen this so many times with Jamel Dean. It's so frustrating, and I understand where Bucs are coming. Bucs fans are coming from, and they're still saying, "Listen, he is their number one corner." Yeah, he's your number one corner for now until he gets hurt or until Todd Bowles gets tired of this nonsense. And that's exactly what it is. His play, the majority of the time, is nonsense.
Yeah, so I can't wait for Morrison to get healthy because I think we're going to lose some games. But Zion, man, Zion's coming into his own. I think he is stepping. He had the talent, he had the athletic ability, but he came from an FCS school, so the jump to the pros, it took a while for him to get there. Okay, so and I saw some missed tackles and a lot of sloppy play.
Yeah.
That fumble and then it's like, what is going on? You got to play mistake-free football. But and my guy Shiloh Sanders, he didn't do much. He had one tackle, but overall, the a lot of poor tackling. I mean, Vildor did good. Who else? Then Antonio Grish stepped up. Nick Jackson, I think that Bullock had one sack.
Right.
And what else? I think
Bullock had a tackle. One thing we didn't mention, Peter and Abraham, I think you might agree with this as well. The Bucs' first offensive line, those first two series, especially the first series, was not good.
No.
And that's a concern. Obviously, without Tristan, they're not as good, but Barton got beat for a TFL. Now, this is a good Pittsburgh defense now. Let's not get it twisted. But that was disappointing, and that has me a little bit worried. Look, the other four guys have proven themselves in this league, and obviously, the left tackle is Charlie Heck is, that's the weak link right now. But it's I'm not saying he was terrible, but I'm a little concerned over that tonight.
Yeah, and then it affected the running game because you saw Bucky there, and there was no openings. There's no
nowhere to run.
Right, and Tristan, listen, he's big on this team, right? He could be the best, not only left tackle, but best offensive lineman in the league. So, of course, you've got to get, and that's the reason why Heck played a little bit longer tonight, because you want to get those reps in game action. And like you said, the Steelers, they're no slouch, JP. That's one of the top defenses in the National Football League. What else, Abraham?
Yeah, I'm concerned about the safety depth as much as I like Shiloh, but he's going to be getting thrown into some stuff. I mean, early.
He ain't ready.
He's a guy that needs to be developed.
Yes.
He's not ready to step in and make a difference. He's a developmental piece. I mean, Todd Bowles is the perfect coach for that, but maybe Rashad Wisdom, but that's a little bit concerned with the Izzy injury. That's a little bit of concern. Then J-Mac, I hope he comes back. But I think
he'll be back. He'll be back.
Shepard did decent, stepped up with Teddy Bridgewater, and so I'm not that worried. We play with Shepard, but I hope that the O line plays better because Barton got pushed around.
Yeah,
and that is an area of concern.
Yes,
because he's supposed to be our center. So, but backup O lineman Klein looked solid at center and guard. He didn't have that missed snap like he had, but I'm concerned about the interior O-line on the
all right,
center and left guard.
Abraham, use that second call, man. We got to run. We appreciate you, all right?
All right, later.
All right, later. Good stuff there. I want to get out to, because he just called in, so I want to make sure we get him on. Alex from Largo right there will go out to you live here on the Sports Web, your post-game edition with the JP Peterson Show. Alex, go ahead. Welcome.
How you guys doing?
Doing good, man. Some good things tonight to see, especially Teddy Bridgewater. I think Ibuka is everything is advertised, and it's so fun because one of the guys on Twitter.
I'm getting tired of talking about him.
Well, I mean, it's like Mike Evans all over again, right? Mike Evans catches his first touchdown in a regular season game to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers there in the corner of the end zone, and I get it's a preseason game, but Ibuka showing the same thing, and I guess we lost Alex there, so I don't know what happened. Alex, call back. There he is. All right, Alex, go ahead.
No, but I loved some things that I saw. Obviously, there's a lot of disappointments, but you guys kind of touched up on them pretty well. I think Jamel Dean, starting with him, is just becoming extremely disappointing. You know, he's got to learn something by now, guys. I mean, this guy's getting burned. No matter what routes are taken, I mean, you would think at this point in time, with pretty much with the signing of Morrison, that your job's kind of on the line. So I guess for Jamel Dean, I was expecting a little bit, a little bit more, especially it's preseason. You have to shine. I know it's just preseason. I know everyone thinks that these games don't matter, but got your job on the line. I just, for Jamel Dean, starting with that, I'm just a little disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people are. I mean, what do you say? I mean, do you think this changes, JP, or is it just going to be the same as it always is? And this is why, once again, the Bucs drafted a Morrison and, of course, a Parrish. They doubled down on that position because they are unhappy. And then on top of it, you had all the injuries last year where you have to depend on a rookie like Josh Hayes, who maybe is good on special teams, but is not good in that starting.
Well, listen, Jamel's not going to lose his starting spot right now. And Benjamin Morrison, he may eventually take it, but it won't happen until midseason. You just can't risk it. I mean, Dean is not, and let's just remember, this is a preseason game. And trust me, Jamel sometimes doesn't get up for regular season games. So, he was completely disinterested with tonight's game and is just trying to get to, uninjured to the season. So, I mean, let's just make sure we keep it in perspective a little bit. He is a veteran. It is a preseason game. It's not that big a deal. Now, the problem is we've seen this too much in his regular season play. So, but he's not going to lose his job, especially with Morrison banged up. I don't see that happening. But by midseason, if this continues, then yes. But he's not losing his job anytime soon, in my opinion. Sorry to say.
No, he's not.
Until he is a very good cover guy. He's a very good cover guy, and he can play against the bigger receivers in this league. But already, now that they're traveling corners and matching up our corners, it was just right side corner, left side corner, whoever they would send out there you would match up with, which I thought always was a advantage to the offense because then they could match corner on receiver as they liked. Now they're going to let Zion travel with the best, the DK Metcalf, whoever the number one receiver is, then he's going to travel with them or whoever he matches up best with. So I think we've already seen that Zion's taken that away from Jamel Dean. So he's actually already corner number 2. And when Morrison comes back, I think he's going to be corner number 3. So we'll see how it develops. But the good news is there's depth in the organization now, and we're not going from Jamel Dean to Josh Hayes like we did in the playoff game, which was the killer. So that's the good news. So BMO, as they call him, get well soon.
Yes, absolutely. All right, Alex.
These injuries have been killers. But talking about some good real quick, guys, before I go. Switching over to the offensive side of the ball, I really liked what I saw out of Teddy today. I think he shined. I thought that was a good signing when it happened. I was a little shocked when it happened because it was kind of, out of left field.
Who are you talking about? Who did you say?
I was happy that Ibuka got his first touchdown.
Well, Teddy Bridgewater.
Okay, yeah.
Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah, and to me, listen, this was planned by the Bucs. This wasn't just an overnight thing. They were planning this. I think they got some intel by their new offensive coordinator and Josh Grizzard. Because they worked together in Miami. So there is some connection, and I think that's what coaching is about sometimes, So I do believe they had their eye on Bridgewater, and also I think they saw enough from Trask in training camp to convince them that this is the move to make. And if we need to win one game, we're more confident in Bridgewater than Trask. And everybody, well, he's not getting the chance. There's a reason why he's not getting the chances, because he's not performing in camp. He's not beating guys out. Enough with the excuses, and you have an opportunity to solidify because your job is on the line, and you look like the same quarterback. I'm
gonna tell you something, Peter. When this really, I think, hit the Buccaneers, when Baker got hurt in practice a couple weeks ago, when he hurt his finger, and Trask was running with the ones, 11 on 11, and we were sitting there watching it, and I'm just telling you, there were opportunities when Trask would miss wide open guys, especially in the red zone, and more than that, he would hold the ball. He just holds the ball. He doesn't make a decision. And I could just see it. I look over at Grizz, and you could just read the body language time and time again. And I think that was the moment they said, we got to go get Teddy. We got to go find somebody. We got to go get. And after the practice that day, I pressed Bowles on it, and he said, I said, you're getting a veteran arm or just a camp arm? And he said, we'll see. And to me, that was like, they're going to get a veteran arm. Yeah. And it was, as you mentioned, they had a great history with Teddy, and you could just see it. The guy knows how to run the system, and he knows how to make decisions. And he's the lollipop throw to J-Mac that got him hurt was not his best. You would like that a little bit more on the line, a little bit more accurate, kind of hung him out to dry there. But that's, I said this the other day when I saw Teddy throwing some of the deeper balls, that he was a little bit rusty. But that'll come. He just got off the couch. So stroke of brilliance by the Buccaneers to have those idiots down in Miami suspend him as the high school football coach and make him available. Stroke of brilliance.
Yes, absolutely. Exactly.
Whatever idiot did that, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for suspending Teddy for spending money on his kids to get them home from school on Ubers. Yeah. Great job.
Genius.
Great job.
All right, Alex. What else?
Hey, guys, last thing before I get out of here. Also on the offensive side, it was really good to see a lot of guys. Again, I'm not going to go all negative. It was good to see a lot of guys get to touch the ball again. I think Jalen McMillan before he got hurt, which, by the way, hopefully he's okay, because, my God, would that be a huge loss to start the season. But other than that, it was good to see the ball get spread around. Sterling Shepard, I think he got a couple catches. I think he got 2 or 3 catches for like 50 yards.
Yeah. Sterling's having a great camp. He's really having a great camp.
Yeah.
Great. But overall, it's really good. It was really good today to see the ball get spread around a little bit. So it's not all negative. Hopefully the injury bug will stay away, because, again, prayers go out to Jalen McMillan, because I'm telling you, man, I do not want to start this season without him on our active roster, because, in my opinion, that would be a huge loss. You're already down Chris Godwin. They don't want to put Buka on too much pressure, being his first time in the NFL. But it was, by the way, before I go, it was good to see him get that very first NFL touchdown pass, preseason or not. I think he's going to be an absolute stud.
Yeah, I agree with you. Good stuff, Alex. Appreciate the call as always. Open phone line, 727-255-0391 and 727-255-0391. Partner, I know you've been up for a little bit. I know that second half put you to sleep.
I'm going to tap out. My wife is saying it's time for bed. So
yeah, well,
I'm going to tap out, partner. Thanks for having me on as usual. We'll be on Monday, 10 to 12, back to our normal time. So check us out right here on X. You can find us at WATB on Facebook as well, on my Facebook page, and on YouTube. Please like and subscribe to the JP Peterson Show. We'll have much more, and let's hope J-Mac and the boys are not seriously injured. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, real quick, if you guys don't tune into his show or this postgame show, you get JP'd.
F you, F you, F you, and F you. Peace out. I'm going to go have a Guinness.
All right, my friend. I'll see you later.
All right, brother. Thanks. See you.
Yeah, there you go. Right there. Good stuff. JP Peterson of the JP Peterson Show. So it's just me and you tonight here on the post game. What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about Teddy Bridgewater, how good he looked? You want to talk about how bad Kyle Trask looked? 727-255 0391. It's 727-255-0391. Going through the numbers. Teddy Bridgewater again, 6 for 11, 85 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kyle Trask, 3 for 10, 19 yards. I get it. It's preseason, but it's tough to look at. It really is. It's tough to see at this point with, the throws not there, behind receivers. Like I said, holding the ball way too long. I get it. He's getting pressure in his face, but you've got to make quicker decisions. You've been on this team for 5 years. You have to see different. And I think that's the reason why the Bucs, once again, have moved on. In my opinion, it's not official, but Teddy Bridgewater will be the backup quarterback for this Tampa Bay Buccaneer team. Make no mistake about it. It's just different night and day. It really is. The quick decision-making, the throws, I get it. You have the McMillan there, high throw, but everything else was beautiful. For a quarterback who hasn't played in, 2 years? He's supposed to be rusty. He knew the offense. He processed the offense. He made quick decisions. When he needed to scale out of the pocket, where he's like, well, he doesn't have the mobility. It's a lot more mobility than Kyle Trask. That guy looks like an old phone booth. He's stuck in a phone booth. Scale the pocket, make throws on the run. Bridgewater did a little bit of that tonight. You don't necessarily have to have Lamar Jackson mobility. You just have to scale a little bit. Just move your feet a little bit. Somebody said it best on Twitter. Looked like Trask had cement boots in his cleats. I would agree with that. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let's go out to Kenneth. Again, like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. Facebook stars are open. YouTube Super Chats. If you love the content, we'll see how long we go tonight here on a late Saturday night after the Bucs beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 17-14. Let's go out to Kenneth McClary right here. Last week I mentioned until I see consistency from Kyle Trask, I'm not going to feel too confident in him. Well, I didn't see any consistency from last week to this week. He was better last week than he was this week by far.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go out to Megan here. Bridgewater shines. No, give me Baker. Poor Jalen almost got killed. I get it. Bad throw there. But overall had a better night, definitely, than to be expected for a guy that hasn't really thrown a pass in the last 2 years. He's coaching high school at this point. That was pretty impressive. But I understand it. Every Bucs fan at this point wants Baker Mayfield, but why even take the chance at this point, especially with him being a little bit banged up? You want him ready for week 1. What do we always talk about here, Megan, on the Sports Web? It's not about the result. Yes, it's nice to win because we can do this. Victory! Right there, we can do victory, but, does it really mean anything? It doesn't. What means something is the evaluation process. What means something is staying healthy, and the Bucs haven't been able to do that. So that's the reason why you don't play Baker Mayfield in the first place, or Levante David or Mike Evans. You don't take that chance. But everybody else, you got to get them reps. You got to get them ready for football. It's football. I know it's tough to see a lot of injuries going on right now, but this is what's going to happen. Whether it's, it's the nature of the game. And then on top of it, you see football players not have as many reps as they used to. You're not practicing as much. You're not having those reps. So you're going to have some of those injuries. You're going to have more and more injuries. You could see it around the league. That's just the nature of the game. That's why it's so important to draft. That's why it's so important to go into free agency and get the guys that fit your system in case you do lose one of those guys. Because you don't want to put a guy in there who's just a guy. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Go Bucs, go Bucs.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Go Bucs.
It's exciting.
Go Bucs.
How about them Bucks, baby?
Go Bucs. All right, there you go. Right there, Eric says LFG Bucs. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Victory 2-0. Who are we? Absolutely. Let's go out to Rich Spirit Mind. Thank you very much for tuning in. There on Facebook. Let's go out to Eric. Super Bowl. Here we come. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but we have said on this show many times that they do have the roster to be special. That's for sure. Now, with the injury situation, once again, with Chris Godwin and Tristan Wirfs, who knows? Again, the first 4 games will tell the story. Off the preseason, let's go ahead and temper the expectations on the Super Bowl talk at this juncture, all right? Backups look good. Where do you go from here? Like our year with Teddy, 1 to number 2, certainly looks like he has. Eric, I think that's what you were saying. Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening to you.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's go out to KR1 there. Evening, guys. Bucs win, but Bridgewater is going to be quarterback number 2. He just looks better than Trask right now. This is what I said. People were laughing at me. What are you talking about? There is a reason why you sign him in the first place. Not only to push Trask, but to push Trask out because he is a quarterback that's had the experience. He has played in 11 years. He has played for the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings and the Denver Broncos and the Detroit Lions. And he's had an unfortunate injury history, but he understands the offense. He's a veteran quarterback, what the Bucs haven't had in a while. Let's go out to Rich Spirit Mind. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Yeah.
Let's go out to Tampa Bay Ray Kennedy, as I'm surprised he hasn't called in.
Mr.
All right, let's go out to Christopher Cole. Trask was trying too hard. All right. McMillan with a neck brace says Sergio. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's disappointing. They are saying neck injury and concussion for Jalen. They are. They checked him out for both at this point. So, again, we'll get the injury prognosis, if you will, here in the next couple days. Of course, if you missed it, J.J. Roberts on the IR with the torn ACL, joining David Walker. Both of those players right now dealing with that. And, of course, Antoine Winfield didn't play in this game because he could be dealing with a lower leg injury. Looks like, again, according to Ian Rappaport, their plan is for him to be ready against the Atlanta Falcons. That's what it comes down to, the injury stuff. Let's see here. I've said time and time again, I think after this training camp, if I'm not mistaken, people have gotten to training camp injuries happen. It doesn't matter when they will happen. It doesn't matter if it happens a preseason game. It'll happen in a training camp game. Freak accidents, injuries are a part of the game. It's why, once again, it is so important, and why you have to you have to evaluate what you have, and you also have to appreciate that Jason Line and this organization know what they're doing when it comes to drafting and getting players that fit those roles. So if you do lose a player, you have somebody back, like cornerback. They double dipped with Morrison and Parrish. Morrison goes down, Parrish is able to start, and he does not look like a rookie. In fact, he looks better than Jamel Dean right now. He does. The first 2 games, you have to be impressed. Everything that you've heard in training camp, he is everything as advertised. He really is. No depth on the D line. I thought that looked good tonight. I thought Braswell showed up. I like the jump cut. I like the bull rush move, getting out to the quarterback where Izzy also blitzes on that. But the play is made by Chris Braswell. We saw a lot of that tonight. We saw some pressure. It was good to see. You're going to have to see that. Of course, you saw a little bit of Hassan Reddick playing some coverage, rushing the passer. Yaya Diaby, Kalijah Cansey. This is your defensive line. So this is what your bread and butter. We can talk all day long about the back end, but it's all predicated on the front, on the pass rush there with the defensive line. So, and I got somebody texting me here. Hold on a sec. I'm going to go ahead and just, let's see here. All right. Can't be having text messages during the show here. Sorry, guys. Usually whiplash for how he landed. Can take a week or two to heal fully. Absolutely. Thank you, TJC22.
Oh, yeah.
Mike DeRoche, I hope 15 is okay. Agree with that. Let's go out to Kenneth, but he also got to really applaud Jalen McMillan because that was a hell of a catch. Despite the hit and the way he landed, he held on that damn ball. He did. This goes back to last year, right? The second half of the year. We talked to this kid. We'll probably play that interview here in just a little bit. From him, interviewing him, how he was comfortable. Him and Elijah Roberts there at the Expo. And what the difference was. And it certainly seems like he's going to carry over that momentum from the second half of the year. That's exactly what you want. You do. That's what you want your receiver to do. Let's go out to BG68. How many teams in the league would Trask be a backup over under is 5? Maybe. If you put that tape out there tonight, I think it's under 5. I don't know if you're a quarterback in this league. Again, I know Bucs fans are going to say, well, he's playing with backups. He's getting pressure in his face and da-da-da-da. I mean, I don't know how many years we got to hear this. Like, how many years you got to hear this? This is the quarterback he is. He holds the ball way too long. Whether that's a receiver trying to get open or not getting open, you've got to make a quick decision. Live to fight another day. It's the same thing with Baker Mayfield. I'm not making a big deal about this, but it kind of really is a big deal. Like, you're a quarterback in the league, and I've never been a quarterback in the league, but I watched football for over 30 years. You've got to make a decisive decision. If not, you're going to eat the ball. You're going to sack. You're going to take the sack. But you got to process the offense a lot better than what he's done. He's just not the guy. I'm sorry, he's not. He may have all the potential, so I would say under 5 at this point. So, yeah. Now let's go out to Jeff here. Mike DeRoche, he will. Says Jeff right there. Roger Shue. Why aren't you on the field? Because it's in Pittsburgh, Roger Shue. So I appreciate that.
Acknowledge me.
I'm at home. It was a road game. Thanks a lot for watching, Roger. Appreciate it as always. All these injuries and the season hasn't even started yet. Exactly. Let's go out to Mike DeRoche. Expensive injury list. Sergio. Teddy looked good, though, but not the rushing game. No, it didn't look good. That's one thing you could take away from this game. Because of course, you know, this offense is going to be predicated on the run game. We know that with Bucky Irving and Sean Tucker, most likely with Rashad White. You're not sure what the injury situation with him is. I thought Josh Williams later on in the game showed some things. 5 carries for 21 yards. This is the reason why the Bucs like the kid out of LSU. Bucky Irving, 8 carries for 12 yards. Not going to get it done early on in the game. Sean Tucker, 4 carries for 6 yards. That's not good run. Your offensive line for the whole night got dominated by that Pittsburgh defense. Period. You got to play better than that. And it's going to be heck. Most likely it's going to start on that left tackle spot. So you're going to have to figure this out and figure it out quick because that running game is going to be, again, a big part of this offense. Is going to take the pressure off of Baker Mayfield. It's not going to just all be pass. It has to be some run. There has to be balance to this offense. Let's see here. Vildor looked good. 2 picks, 1 great defensive play. All right, let's go out to the phone lines here. Let's go out to Abraham using your second call. What else did you see tonight, my friend? Welcome back to the Evolution.
Yeah, Chris Braswell stepped up after a poor showing. I like what I saw. I mean, especially he got an assist from, what's his name, Isian?
Yep.
So I like the fact that he's stepping up because he was not playing. So I hope one positive thing that comes out, everybody gets a wake-up call because they need, the season's coming around. And they need to come in swinging, and they need to be on their best. And some people are just sleeping. And I just hope that
Jamel Dean was sleeping tonight. It was sleep, especially when that wide receiver ran past him. And that's not DK Metcalf, by the way. It's a kid by the name of Wilson, who is 3rd round pick. I mean, who is that guy? Seriously, Roman Wilson. You ever heard of Roman Wilson before?
Nope.
No,
So
I'm not me neither.
All I got to say is everybody needs to wake up, because that's it.
Right.
And you know what? The season's around the corner. You need to, hey, get your shit together. And even though they won, I'm sorry.
That's
but
all
even
right.
though they won,
I got
it's a preseason game.
Yep.
Preseason games don't mean much. So they need to analyze what they're doing wrong and get it together, because they got to start. They start stacking those wins early. And injuries happen, but you still got to go on the next man up. That's all I got to say.
Yep, next man up mentality, especially with again the injury situation being a big factor right now, and you just hope these injuries aren't serious. But the oblique injury to Christian Isian could definitely be weeks, a lingering issue. Hopefully McMillan with the neck. We talked about J.J. Roberts there. He's going to be out for the year. Of course, David Walker before. Winfield banged up. Baker banged up, but he's going to get rested. He looked good in the joint practice. Tristan Wirfs, you're not sure about that situation. Chris Godwin certainly looks like he's going to miss more than 4 games to start to see. You definitely have to have guys to step up.
I like Gildor stepping up. I like that. He looked better than Dean did. Let me be honest with you.
He did. He did. Isn't that sad?
Yeah, so
because you're thinking about him, and I know a lot of Bucs fans out there just thought he was a backup. He's played his ass off, if you will, when it comes to camp. You've heard nothing but great things, and he's a veteran who wants to earn a spot on this team. So it really comes down to effort. Like, I'm just thinking right now is if this is a sign, and again, I understand it's a preseason game. People will tell me, calm down, it's a preseason game. But you get the opportunity to start in the preseason to start off right, and you start like that, that is not good. That's not good at all. That goes back to last year. This is the reason why the Bucs drafted what they drafted in the first place. And this is the reason why fans are up in arms when watching Jamel Dean. $13 million. He didn't look like a $13 million corner. He certainly didn't look like the number 1 corner on this team. So, and enough with the preseason. I get that. Everybody says preseason. He's played like this in the regular season too.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep.
All right.
Yeah. So, I just hope it's a learning experience, and they just grow. They grow from it. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. Well, it's it. That's what it's all about. Learning experience, teaching moment. Lots of teaching moments there. Tez Johnson. I thought he was impressive. 37-yard punt return there. Was good to see.
Gary Green.
Yeah, and then he has, of course, trying to make a play, calls for the fair catch, let the ball go instead of trying to make a play, runs backwards there, touches the ball. Of course, it becomes a fumble, and it leads to the Steelers tying the game up. You can't have that during the regular season. So like JP said, at least you get that out of the way for the preseason. But I think that kid is electric. I think there's something special about him. That's why I believe he was going to make this team, whether it was going to be special teams or in this wide receiving room, because there's going to be a couple packages where you're going to have to find out what you got in him. And I think they know what they have in him. They want to get him out in space. I don't care how small he is. He can make plays, especially when he's trying to catch. And he had an opportunity tonight. A couple times he had an opportunity to catch the ball. You've got to catch the ball instead of trying to run with it before you catch it. Wide open there, has an opportunity to go a long way. I believe that's Kyle Trask's ball there, one of the balls that he threw that was actually decent, and he drops it. So that was disappointing.
Another thing is that this game also really shows how important Rashad White is to the offense, because he gives a change of pace from Bucky Irvin. Also, Bucky, now they're all keen on stopping Bucky. Rashad gives them a different threat. He can receive. He's not a good inside runner, but he can he's good in the screen game. Yeah. He's got certain skills. So people are forgetting, Bucky. But you know what? You need more than one running back to complement each other in any kind of, you had All-Star and you had Dunn, the WD-40 back in the day.
Sure.
So Detroit had a two-headed monster. We need more than one stable running backs, because you can't solely depend on one guy to deliver, because then everybody's keying in on him. So I saw that how the defense effectively stopped him, because they knew how to stop him. They didn't have another threat in the backfield. So all I got to say is just I hope everybody gets a wake up call and realizes, the season's around the corner.
Yep.
and they got to play their best games, best ball when it comes to playing. Who they're playing first?
Atlanta Falcons, my friend. Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, they got to play.
You got one more meaningless preseason game, and we got you covered next week with backups and guys trying to earn a position because that's most likely what it's going to be.
Actually, hey Peter, I'll be there with Murray.
Okay. Well, I hope you guys have a good time. It should be an interesting night. I don't think you're going to see any starters at that point, but it'll be a good evaluation night for who is going to be on this team and who's going to earn a job. A lot of guys are going to lose their jobs there if they don't perform against the Buffalo Bills because a lot of these roster spots are already decided at this point. Abraham, anything else here on the Sports Web?
That's about it, Peter. Have a good night.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you. As always, open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Bucs win 17-14. Fire the cannons. I think we're going to get Gene Decker. I'm going to get Gene Deckerhoff's sound effect here when I play that instead of that cannon. We're just going to get him to say fire the cannons. I mean, I'm not going to get him on the show. It'd be nice to get him on the show, but we're going to get that sound effect. All right, so we'll continue to read these comments, take your phone calls and your thoughts. Going back to the numbers here when it comes to wide receiving numbers, Sterling Shepard for the night, 3 for 47, including that big-time catch on fourth down there. Again, just calm as the other side of the pillow, as a great sports broadcaster used to say there on ESPN with Bridgewater there on that big-time fourth down conversion. A guy that's really come out of nowhere that used to be a quarterback, Garrett Green, 3 catches for 25 yards. Again, Tez Johnson, 4 for 24. Had a drop there, also had that fumble, but you can see the potential, and I believe he will make this team in some certain way. Jalen McMillan, 1 for 18, fantastic catch, but the result not necessarily the best. Of course, Bucky Irving with the touchdown there, 1 catch for 15 yards, a beautiful throw right in the corner of the end zone, right in the bucket there, if you will, to Irving. Tolua, 1 catch for 15 yards. Also had a fumble on that, so that wasn't good. Kind of got crazy in the second half. It wasn't necessarily. It was preseason football, that's for sure. It was definitely preseason football because you have Antonio Greer Jr. later on in the game intercepting the ball. Great play, by the way, breaking on it, and then he fumbles it away. Looks like the Steelers are going to recover. Thank God it goes out of bounds as it sets up the Bucs at that point for the field goal to win the game. But that was a big play by Greer Jr. Let's go out to the tribal troll.
Acknowledge me.
What's going on, boss? How you doing? What do you think about this Bucs win over the Steelers?
Why aren't you on the field?
Well, because it's in Pittsburgh.
So you couldn't go to Pittsburgh? Come on, man.
No, man, I didn't go to Pittsburgh. No, of course I didn't go to Pittsburgh. I was here yesterday, you moron. What am I supposed to fly to Pittsburgh today? Get out of here. What am I, a rich man? Will you fly me to Pittsburgh?
Yes.
I wouldn't be credentialed anyway. I didn't get credentialed with the Bucs on the away games.
Credentialed with the Bucs.
Maybe with
Pittsburgh.
Maybe the home games, but not the away games. So
yeah, man, it was a good game.
It was. Your boy Trask really performed well, man. He looked good.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, 3 for 10, 19 yards. I think Roger Shue, you could go 3 for 10 for 19 yards, don't you?
I think you could do the same.
I think you're right. I think you've had about 3 beers too many. Is that true?
No, I'm working on number 4.
still more passes completed by you.
I'm watching this Triple Mania pay-per-view.
Okay. So did you watch any of the Bucs game at this point?
Americano is making his way to the ring right now.
All right. Well, we're going to...
A.K.A. Ludwig Kaiser.
By the way, update here. If you're a Rays fan, they win last night 7-6 there in the top of the ninth with the Andy Diaz. Right now, they're winning in the bottom of the ninth 2-1 over the San Francisco Giants. So the Rays maybe making a little bit of a run here. We'll see if they can put this game away. What else, Roger?
That's it, man.
All right,
it was a great game.
Thank you.
Go Trask.
Yeah, go Trask. I think Trask is going to go somewhere, all right, on the bench.
Garbage.
He was terrible tonight. All right. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate the call. All right, good stuff there. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. 0391 at 727-255-0391. So to answer your question, BG68, I think under 5 at this point. Jeff says Mike DeRoche, he will. Roger Shue, why aren't you on the field? Answered that question. Sergio, all those injuries in the season hasn't even started yet. Expensive injury list. Yes, Teddy looked good, though, but not the rushing game. It did not look good. Think the Bucs have injury concerns. You should see the 49ers. Again, it's a war of attrition. Leo Word. I mean, that's what it comes down to, right? What's the preseason about? Evaluation and what? Staying healthy. They weren't able to do that at all. Again, Vildor looked good. 2 picks, 1 great defensive play. I can tell you after watching the game, Tampa Bay did not look good overall, at least after the first quarter. They look kind of off. Yeah, but again, that was most of the backups, not the starters. Zion play was phenomenal. Megan says it was. Absolutely. Okay. Thank you for the comment there, Megan.
Oh, yeah.
Tez won't make that mistake again. Jeff, he won't. If he does, he'll be on the bench. You can't do that. That costs your team. Again, more good with Johnson than bad, especially in his first preseason game. Mike DeRoche, 83 pump muff is coachable. Bucs Basement says, aside from the one play Braswell was a ghost, I expect more of a presence from the second round pick. I think he played better tonight. I do. I think I saw more from him tonight than I saw from him last week. So, and I agree with you. He's definitely got to perform better, Bucs Basement. And the Bucs got to get more, especially from a second round pick. He's a premium pick. He's going to be in that rotation. He's not going to be a starter, but he's going to be in that rotation, especially with the Walker injury. Let's go out to Ralph Williams. Where you been, my friend? Steelers beat themselves. Agree with that.
Oh, yeah.
Can't have all those turnovers and expect to win. I agree, Bucs Basement. Kenneth, Braswell looked like crap other than that sack. Looked like he cannot get the pass, the offensive lineman really at all. Well, he had the pressure there on the Vildor interception. So he did get into the quarterback space. Again, I get it. It's not a sack, but it's pressure. You've seen more. That's what you want to get. You want to get more pressure. Of course, you want to finish, but getting pressure in the quarterback space to force him to do things he doesn't necessarily want to do is also important, if you will. Let's see here. Good to see Teddy Bridgewater back in the league. Thank you, Ralph. Absolutely agree with that. The way he played tonight definitely didn't look like he's been out in the league for a long time span. That's for sure. Wasn't particularly thrilled with Jamel Dean. Really believe that Jamel Dean will not finish this year as a starter. Kenneth, I completely agree with you at this point, especially knowing Dean's past with him being injury prone. And that's the reason why you draft Morrison and Parrish in the first place. And then the inconsistency. The inconsistency has always been there. The lack of interceptions. I get it. He's 6'2", he's 6'3", he's lengthy. He's supposed to have good ball skills, but I can't remember. I remember, I think an interception last year. The Bucs had a total of 7. That's been the key here in this preseason. I guess it's preseason again. Just used it. But turnovers. This defense has been able to cause those turnovers. So, but you like to see more of that during the regular season. That's exactly what Todd Bowles and this coaching staff has been focusing on in the offseason, getting ball hawks. I'm curious to see what Benjamin Morrison looks like, because everything I've heard, all the accounts, he's had a spectacular training camp. But what is it? What is it all about? What is it about what TJ Reeves said last week is about a bit, the best ability is availability. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391 as your Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers in the second preseason game, 17-14. Want to get your thoughts. Continue to read comments here, and then we'll get out for the night. The blocking by the offensive line starters, I don't think was particularly well as far as the run game. It looked like there were 20 Steelers on the field every time Bucky got the ball. Yeah, it was not good. That was not pretty tonight. That was tough to watch. Joshua says, not looking good for Trask, not at all. Also, still saw miscommunication with the secondary. When they're all in the meeting room together, do they actually talk to each other, or do they just look around the room? Kenneth, you're killing it tonight with the comments.
Oh, yeah.
Completely correct about this. Too many wide open receivers. And again, I know it's all predicated on pressure. But you can't continue to have the same thing going on over and over again. And what have we heard the last couple of years? What has been the killer of the Todd Bowles defense, especially in that back end? Communication breakdowns, which lead to wide open receivers. You saw a little bit too much of that tonight. Let's go out to the phone lines. What's your name? Where you're calling from? You're on the Evolution.
Peter, Jeremy, aka J-Lo from Buccaneers. How you doing, my friend?
What's going on, Buccaneers, man? What did you think? Bucs pick up the win, but definitely some things we can discuss here. What did you see in this game?
Well, number one, injuries yet again. Durrell. A few players did go down, but shout out to Bridgewater coming in, executing pretty 2 good drives.
Yeah.
Again, and just putting the ball in the money. I mean, the guy still got it. That was just amazing play by him. And also, I will say the defense looked pretty steady. I will admit, and you and I both can agree to disagree,
Sure.
that Pittsburgh is a much better team than Tennessee.
Oh, of course. Come on. What the Titans have the first round pick, the first overall pick. They take Cam Ward. There's a reason. They're not a great team. They're not a great defense. No. This was a solid test, if you will, for this Bucs team tonight versus a Pittsburgh Steelers team that, listen, they always play for Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin gets the best of them. That's why it's tough for me to sit there and say, I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to perform well, because if he doesn't, Mike Tomlin is going to bench him. He's not going to put up with that nonsense that happened with the New York Jets. And Tomlin, whatever you want to say about him not winning Super Bowls, gets the most out of his players every year. That's why he's such an underrated coach.
No, I couldn't agree more. I agree 100%. He is. And that's why, you got to give shout out to the Bucs for how they performed. Yes, there were some miscues, Tess Johnson going for that muff punt. He'll learn. He's a rookie.
Yep.
It was his first NFL game. I'll give him a pass. But I will say, be on the lookout. Garrett Green's looking really good out there. Yeah, it's against a bunch of backups. Maybe not make the roster.
Yep.
He's another guy to look out for. Ryan Miller, you can't count him out as well. Especially McMullen with the way he took that fall. Hope everything's okay. He walked out with a net brace. Hopefully it's for precaution, and he'll be ready week 1. If not, I got to say, Peter, we got one of the deepest receiving rooms in the NFL.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not sexy to a lot of Bucs fans, but if you look at it, Ryan Miller, Garrett Green, Sterling Shepard made some plays. I mean, they got so
Shepard's going to make
talent.
this team. For me, Shepard's got to make this team because first he's got the veteran presence, right? So he's been there and done that. So if you do have an injury, and you do have an injury situation already with Godwin being out, most likely missing more than 4 games, McMillan banged up, you got to keep Shepard on this team because he's done it. He's been there before. And then on top of it, the chemistry that he has with Baker Mayfield. So he's made catches. He's proven that he could still, be an asset. And I think that he will make this team when it comes down to it.
No, I couldn't agree more, especially with McMillan going down. We don't know how long he's going to be out. First and foremost, hopefully he's okay, which he seemed to be okay walking
right
with the net brace. So that's a plus. He got up on his own power. So that's a plus as a Bucs fan. I think that's definitely agreeable to every Bucs fan for a speedy recovery, whatever's going on with him. Shepard now will most likely make the roster because let's face facts, we're not going to see Godwin until probably week 5 or maybe even longer because he hasn't started running. We don't know.
Sure.
But here's the thing, Peter. Why rush? Look at Buka has just played the last 2
Is he
games.
something special or what? I mean,
my goodness.
he just looks like a man among boys. Like he's been in the league longer than what he's been, which is, for a cup of coffee. He's a rookie right now, and he just looks like he looks the part. He's physical. He runs great routes. I love the fact of the interview. I get it, whatever it is, religion, God, whatever is involved. I give grace to God. I mean, he has the characteristics of what a Jason-like player is when it comes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And you go back to those comments the other day of what Jason Light said about, Devin White and Vernon Hargreaves, and players don't want to be here, don't want to give the effort. Ibuka is none of that at all. And that, once again, is a direct reflection of what this organization has done so well over the last couple of years. Ibuka looks the part. He's playing the part. And who knows? This kid is special. And I know there's a lot of Bucs fans that were, hooping and hollering. But why did they pick another wide receiver? Because this is your future. And this is a guy not only could be the future, but this is a guy who can come in right away and make a major impact on this offense. And, of course, the Godwin injury situation.
No, I mean, we couldn't agree more. I mean, the guy has been killing it. And the fact that he fell to us without having to trade up, Peter,
right,
blows my mind.
What a crime, right? But scouts are not perfect. They just missed on the guy. They missed on him. They missed on him somehow, or didn't have a need. I don't know. I don't understand it. I can't understand it.
I mean, Ohio State is wide receiver deep, wide receiver U, just like LSU.
Yep.
How would you pass on? I mean, no disrespect to McMillan over at Carolina. I think he's going to be a stud, but look how right away Ibuka just fits the team.
Yep.
How he's going out there balling out. I can't wait to watch the kid week 1. It's going to be so much fun to watch. And one more thing I want to add, Peter, because I know you probably got other callers calling.
Sure,
I will
man.
say this. The defense with the turnover ratio, the last 2 preseason games, even though it's preseason, but 6 interceptions, which we barely saw last year in our defense.
Yep.
This tells me I see a big change in this defense coming. Vildor, I think is a lock. I think he's going to make the roster as a number 5 or a 4. I think he's a good, solid backup.
Mm-hmm.
Because Morrison, we don't know what's going to happen because obviously he's not going to have no playing time. You can't rush the kid out there unless injuries happen, because Dean can't play full 17. And a lot of fans want to bash at Dean. Okay, he had a bad night. But when he's on, he's on. And you and I both know that.
Well,
he's on, he's on.
The problem is he's more often on, right?
Because he's injured.
Right, he's injured. He's not available. And, when does that shoe drop? When does Morrison or Parrish take his job? I like Dean. I do. I think he's got potential. But there's times where he's just not consistent enough. And how long do you got to be in the league? How long do we have to talk about this? Whether it's tackling, whether it's coverage ability, just allowing a guy. Again, it looked like the safety needed to be over the top. The safety was late on that. It just looks like he was not interested in playing tonight. Just my thought process, just watching it, didn't look like he was interested. Fine, okay.
Fair. No, it's fair. No, it's fair, Peter. You're very right. It's very fair. And I can agree with you more. And he better step it up.
Yep.
And now he's going to go on the bench, and he'll be a cornerback number 2.
Yep.
And I'm totally fine with that because you never know. Injuries happen. It might motivate him to play better.
Well,
let's face that. This is probably going to be last year in Tampa. We can all agree to disagree.
Yep. I think it's certainly possible with that contract right now. I definitely think it's possible. And then, again, you have the youth and Benjamin Morrison. I'm looking at him and I'm saying, get healthy, kid, because from what he showed in college, again, if he's healthy, he's a shutdown corner. He's shown that. He's aggressive. He's got great ball skills where he's going to make the interception, which is what Dean hasn't done. Again, what has been the emphasis of Todd Bowles talking about this defense in the offseason? Making plays, getting turnovers, ball hawks, being aggressive. That's exactly what they got. And Parrish is not playing like a rookie. He's not playing like that. He hasn't played like a rookie in training camp. He's gotten better and better and better, it seems like. I'm excited about this young man. And he's doing that 25 jersey real proud because when you think of 25, you think of Brian Kelly. He's playing up to, again, short sample size, but Brian Kelly coverage skills, if you will, and physicality. What else, Jeremy?
No, I'm glad you mentioned Brian Kelly because he is a legend.
That's what we do here on the Sports Well. We mentioned the Bucs history. That's what we do. We got the great Paul Stewart of Buck Power. We're going to put a show together here where we give you that Bucs history, Bucs fans. That's what we do here on the Evolution of Sports Talk Television, of course, in collaboration with the JP Peterson Show here before, after Bucs games, sometimes during halftime when we're out there at Riveters during the away games. What else, Jeremy?
No, I will say, man, shout out to you, JP Peterson, crushing it. I enjoy every minute of it.
Appreciate you.
And I must say, if you're going to be at Riveters on a away game, I might have to slide through on one of those games.
Please do. Please do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Please do.
But at the end of the day, Bucs had a very convincing win on the turnover game. Get excited, Bucs fans. The defense is going to look phenomenal if everybody stays healthy. Happy birthday to Antoine Winfield Jr. Hopefully, speedy recovery. Came down back on the field. It's going to be a fun season, folks. It's going to be a fun season.
It is definitely going to be a fun season. Jeremy, appreciate the call. Use that second one, my friend. All right, we'll give you the Ric Flair. Woo! All right, good stuff.
Yes, sir, Peter. Take care, brother.
Yep, good stuff there. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. So, again, the miscommunication, that was the disappointing factor of the night. How many open wide receivers? And that was without DK Metcalf. That was without Aaron Rodgers. So, you better get ready. You don't have that miscommunication happening versus Michael Penix, right? You don't want to have that happen. You don't want to have that happen versus CJ Stroud for the Houston Texans, or Justin Fields, the third game of the season versus the Jets, or, of course, Jalen Hurts and the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles in the fourth game. You better get that stuff cleaned up because it's going to cost you. I remember when you had callers trying to bench Baker for Trask. Yeah, we had that. What does Tom Brady think about that?
That's good enough to suck right there.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what Trask was tonight, Tom. It was disappointing. It really was. I know it's preseason, but we're undefeated. Go Bucs. Go Bucs.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yes.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Yes. And of course,
Victory!
Here at 11:45 at night on a preseason win, I don't care. It's football at the end of the day. Open phone line, 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Sergio says, is Bryce Hall hurt? Don't think so. Didn't hear a lot from him tonight. Yeah, I forgot about Bryce Hall. What's the story with him? I don't think I've seen him on the field, much less heard of him. Haven't heard from him at all. Really haven't. That's a great question because I've not heard from Bryce Hall and have not seen him. And it didn't look like he would play tonight at all. So there you go. That's the reason why right there. Didn't hear from him. Didn't see him. Let's see. Dean looked lost in coverage. Absolutely. Joshua says a win on the Steelers is always good, preseason or not. Christopher Cole, Merriweather looked pretty good too. Yep, definitely. Move Trask, keep Teddy. I don't know what you're going to move him for, but okay.
Oh, yeah.
Christopher Cole says Steelers defense coach's depth is way better than the Titans, and it shows. Of course, that's a great test at the end of the day. Joshua Dietz says exactly the Trask experiment is over. Wow. Look at this. My co-host here late on a Saturday night, Mr. Harry the Greek. Welcome to the Evolution in collaboration with the JP Peterson Show, my friend.
Hey, buddy, how are you this evening?
You know me, man. I've been working all day long, and now I'm back here doing what I love, talking football, even though it's preseason football. And the second half of that game came to a standstill, which seemed like longer than it needed to be. That's all I have to say.
No kidding. But I got to ask, who got hurt?
Well, there were some injuries in this game. Not only Jalen McMillan with a catch where Bridgewater throws the ball high, where McMillan's the only one who can catch it. He goes up for it, falls on his neck. Did not look good on that at the end of the game, according to Joe Bucs fan with their video, is walking with a neck brace, was also tested for concussion. So that wasn't necessarily good. So we'll see how long he could be out, if at all. Hopefully he's not out, but that was a scary situation. And then you also had Christian Izien, who went out with an oblique injury. That definitely could be a situation that's going to be, it's going to cost them some weeks because we know about an oblique injury. And then, of course, before the game, J.J. Roberts, who was a backup safety, also goes down.
J.J. Roberts went down?
Well, not in the game, but before he goes on the IR. So the injuries are definitely mounting up here for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's not good. That's not good. I never really had a chance to watch the game. I did catch the box score.
Come.
The Greeks doing Greek things. I'm sure you understand.
Well, is the Greek winning any shekels tonight? That's what I want to know.
The Greek is winning quite a few drachmas.
All right. Well, then you have to throw me some of that. Throw me some that way, my friend. Throw me some.
Oh, my God.
Shiloh Sanders, I didn't hear a lot from him tonight. I know he played in the game. Saw a couple plays from Deion Jones. Nick Jackson had a sack. That was good. Braswell had a sack. We talked about that. John Bullock had a sack. But, defensively overall, again, much to be desired, especially
Did
the
the
second
Bucs
and
get the
third
running
unit.
game going tonight?
Terrible tonight. Was not good. It was not good. And again, the Steelers are no slouch, but there could be some struggle there with the line, of course, with Charlie Heck there starting for Tristan Wirfs. Graham Barton didn't have a good game. He got beat off the line a couple times there. Some people screaming for him to not be the center anymore. Not ready to go down that road
Calm
at
down,
this point.
folks. Calm down. It's called preseason.
But the disappointing thing, I think the most disappointing aspect of the night, two of these, and you could talk about it. Kyle Trask was awful. I get it. He's playing with backups, but he was just terrible. Bridgewater looked like the real deal, but Kyle Trask for the night, 3 for 10, 19 yards. Holding the ball way too long, whether that's him not processing.
One more performance like that, 3 for 10 and 19 yards.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're playing with the backups or not.
Yeah.
That's who you're primarily playing with anyway.
Right.
You should be able to develop and establish a rhythm. He might find himself on the outsies.
I think he has. I think he already has. Because if you watch Teddy Bridgewater, you go back and watch the tape, and we're on with Harry the Greek, who watches lots of tape here. And that's what I love about this guy. Not only is he a handicapper extraordinaire, but he's an analyst on the sports web because he breaks down the X's and O's, and we love him for that. But Bridgewater, 6 for 11, 85 yards, 2 touchdowns. And he looked calm as the other side of the pillow, as a sports broadcaster used to say. Stuart Scott, I mean, especially on 3rd and 4th down, especially in the 4th down throw to Sterling Shepard. That was good and made some beautiful throws. The beautiful throw there to Bucky Irving in the corner of the end zone. I think that's going to be your backup quarterback at the end of it. And I think Kyle Trask is seen his last days here with the Bucs. Just my opinion.
3 for 10, 19 yards.
You could go 3 for 10 for 19 yards, my friend. Even
I think I can go 3 for 10 for like 50 yards. Are you kidding me?
Right.
19 yards.
Yeah, and Connor Bazelak, I believe I pronounced his name right. 14 for 18, 106 yards. He looked better than Trask tonight. And that's a 5-year quarterback. So that's what we're talking about. I'm tired of the excuses. I'm really tired. And then the running game was not good tonight, like you said.
Well, you have to take things into consideration.
Sure.
This is just exhibition.
Sure.
They're not throwing the kitchen sink out there. This is just getting warm-ups, trying to get through the game without injuries.
Yeah.
Trying to get some repetitions. And I think this game was more for Teddy Bridgewater to see what they had in him.
Yeah.
Going into the game, that's what I was going to, that's what I anticipated the whole week anyway.
Sure.
Because I said he was.
When he showed some mobility tonight, I know we talked about it. What was his mobility? He showed enough where he was able to scale the pocket a couple times, run out of the pocket, run out of pressure.
He looked pretty good.
He did.
I can't wait to get a chance to watch the tape.
Please do, because we got a lot to talk about on Monday because football season's right around the corner. We got one more preseason game, my friend, versus the Buffalo Bills, where none of the starters are going to be starting. It's going to be backups and guys trying to make this team. And it'll be interesting because now with the safety injuries to Izzian and, of course, J.J. Roberts, it may open the door for Shiloh Sanders, although I didn't know he played tonight. He had 2 tackles. I didn't hear anything from him. And according to Twitter, because I was trying to watch it, he looked kind of lost out there. So I don't know if he's ready to make to ascend to be a safety on this team. We'll see. But because of the numbers game with the injury situation, I certainly think it's possible that he may make it by default. Just saying.
Well, you know what? I got to tell you, I don't think it'll be by default. They'll either keep him or not. And
right.
I do think they're going to end up keeping him just for depth piece and especially in special teams.
Yep.
Because Shiloh Sanders is really, really known for one thing. Hitting. And I'll tell you what, if you can hit and you can wrap a guy up, you can make special teams. And you know what? In a couple of years, he may be a nice backup, maybe even a starting safety if you could learn how to, adapt into coverage a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I'm very optimistic about Shiloh Sanders, but I'm not. I mean, everybody was granting him already a starting position on the defense, and and I was like, pump your brakes, guys. I mean, let's be real. The guy's undrafted. He's not his father. And just like Desmond Watson, I believe was his name, the 450-pound guy, wasn't that his name?
Yeah.
Okay, don't get too excited on him. There was a reason why they says you're not allowed to participate anymore until you lose weight. I knew that was coming. Everybody had him anointed right next to Vita Vea.
Right.
That's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
He's too, in all honesty, he's just too fat and he's too slow. He's got to lose a little bit of weight. And I'll tell you what, when he does that, that would be a lot of fun to watch up in the middle. But he's the one who's going to be on the bubble. He may not even make the roster.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, and that's the interesting thing about, when you draft well, and that's the reason why you draft well in the first place, is because if you have that injury situation, you have somebody that can step in right away. And that's a good problem to have. When you do have injuries, you have players you can take a look at and see if they're going to make this team, and they may be on the bubble. I tell you another guy that was Tez Johnson. Had a couple mistakes tonight, had a drop pass, could have kind of, if he catches it in space, he definitely has an opportunity there. 37-yard punt return. You could see the explosive nature, the electricity in this kid. He's definitely got something that the Bucs, this is the reason why they drafted him in the 7th round in the first place, and shouldn't have been there in the 7th round. If he can continue to catch consistently. And then he had a couple mistakes. Again, the drop pass there out in space where he can go far with Kyle Trask, one of the lone passes that Trask threw. He drops, and then, trying to, make a play on a punt where he fair catches it, lets the ball, go behind him, and then tries to go behind, get the ball, touches the ball. And of course it gives Pittsburgh new life there with the fumble.
I still honestly think that I never thought he had a chance of making the roster other than the practice squad. He's too fresh, too green.
I will make you a bet.
You're not going to waste a roster spot on this young man.
I will make you a gentleman's bet on dinner, my friend, that Tez Johnson makes this team, not only with special teams, but that wide receiving room. They got a plan for him.
Well, I'll tell you what, I love the passion and you showing it. I see something a little bit different. I hope he does, but I think they're in need of other areas and make sure they're going to hold up a roster.
Who showed up also tonight, who's been showing up in training camp? Your boy Vildor, the corner, had Yes, he had an interception tonight. He's performed well in training camp, made some plays, especially in that second half where defenders were not tackling. They were allergic to tackling. He did a pretty good job with making plays tonight, and maybe he earned the team.
Vildor, Pete, he takes a lot of risks. He can get burned very easy.
True,
but he's the ultimate risk it, no biscuit, but on defense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he does take a lot of chances. He reminds me of a particular player that I'm trying to remember his name. I told you about it.
For the Bucs?
Yes.
Sean Murphy Bunting. I think you're thinking of him.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. Well,
and very, very similar type of player. You're either going to love him or you're going to hate him. You're going to love him when he gets you that pick and he's running the other direction for 6.
Right.
You're going to hate him when he gives up 6 because he can't tackle a shadow. But that's the problem with him. But yes, he's got the capabilities of being he can play the slot too, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, he can play corner up against the slot. A lot of people don't know that about him.
Well, that's a good thing. That's definitely going to come in handy at this point. Knock on wood. Hopefully you don't have any injuries, but Antoine Winfield Jr. being banged up, he should be ready by week 1, but that's a safety that you definitely need in that back end and corner. Not having Christian Izien, it's going to hurt because that oblique injury is something that it's bad in sports. When you have an oblique injury, it takes time to heal and can be lingering. Right. So you have to make sure you heal it up right. And of course, JJ Roberts, as we began the show there. So the injury situation for the Bucs, cloudy right now. We'll see if it can get cleared up, if you will. Once again, the other story, we're on with Harry the Greek here on The Evolution, my co-host, great friend here. After the Bucs defeat the Pittsburgh Steelers 17-14. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time, and of course for you, it's your time at 11:58 at night here in collaboration with the JP Peterson Show. I think the other story is, the Bucs defense causing some turnovers, getting sacks tonight, getting after the Steeler quarterbacks. No Aaron Rodgers in this game, but able to get 4 sacks, and then on top of it, 3 turnovers. That's exactly what Todd Bowles and this defense wanted to improve on, Harry, after having 7 interceptions last year. The whole year. They have 6 interceptions in the preseason. So.
Well, Peter,
Yes, sir.
Time for me to turn into a pumpkin.
All right, my friend. We will see a pumpkin head there on Monday night at 8:00. All right, my friend.
Go Bucs, baby.
All right, go Bucs. Love it, man. Love it right there from the green. And love it.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up.
Love
it's
it.
exciting.
It is exciting.
How about them Bucs, baby?
Yeah, absolutely. How about those Bucs? I know Todd Bowles was excited with all the sacks that his team had tonight, of course, and also the turnovers.
It's exciting.
It is. Now, can they carry this over? Let me stop you from me saying, and again, it's preseason, right? We know it's preseason, but can this carry over? Can this carry over in the regular season? You hope so. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Let's go back out to Alex using his second call. By the way, up to date. Rays win 2-1. So that's always a good thing. Beating the Giants. So there you go. 2 in a row there by your Tampa Bay Rays.
They're playing some better baseball, man.
Well, that's good. That's good.
They're not officially out of it till they're officially out of it. So, we still got, I think, collect 35 games left.
I
so
can't give up on them. I can't.
We can't, man. At the end of the day, it is what it is.
Yep.
But it doesn't change the fact that I cannot wait for new ownership. But we'll see. We'll wait till that happens.
Agree.
No, but all right. Hey, listen, man. A great night overall. It's preseason, guys. There's a lot to take and there's a lot to learn from everything that we saw tonight.
Right.
The end of the day, we won. There are, like I said earlier, there are some good positives to kind of look at. I think Teddy will end up getting I think he'll end up getting the second spot. I kind of agree with Harry the Greek. I think Kyle Trask is about to see the door. Dude, if you cannot be successful after sitting behind Tom Brady for 2 to 3 years and learn and just be successful against a bunch of third, fourth stringers in preseason, you got a problem.
I agree. And I think the Bucs agree with you on that. And that's why they signed Teddy Bridgewater in the first place, because they knew they had a problem. So
I loved what he brought tonight. I love the signing. Again, as I said with you and JP earlier, I was a little shocked. I wasn't expecting that, but it's the Bucs. Jason Light, he knows what he's doing, and I think there's a lot to learn. But again, as I was saying earlier, a lot of good positives. I was happy to see Abuga get his first touchdown, first NFL touchdown, by the way. As a Buccaneer. So there are some things there are some positives. Again, I'm just really hoping the injuries don't really stack up. I really hope to see that Jalen McMillan. I heard that he was walking out in
the neck brace,
concussion protocol too.
Yes.
So hopefully it's not too bad.
Right. Right.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you, the wide receiver depth is still kind of on the thin. It's still thin a little bit.
A little bit.
We don't know what's going on with Chris Godwin. Do you guys have a timeline for his return?
Well, the report is, and this is from Leo Haggerty of Amped Up Sports, says we reported that this week.
We know he knows his thing.
He does know his thing, that he was going to start out on the PUP list. It was going to be the first 4 games, and it could be longer because the Bucs clearly just don't want to take the chance of re-injuring the ankle, and they had to have a second surgery for corrective purposes, if you will. So we'll see how that works out. But I never will rule out Chris Godwin, but I just think you invested so much money in him and you have him for a couple of years here. Why take the chance? And you're exactly right. You do still have wide receiving depth, I believe, especially with Ibuka. You just don't know. Like, everything right now points to Ibuka making a major impact, but you don't know until the season starts. But what you see out there in training camp, what I've seen out in training camp, what you've heard from people out there watching him, he is the real deal. And you see in the game situations, the last 2 games, he is the real deal. So I'm going to believe what my eyes tell me. What my eyes tell me right now is that the Bucs may have found a very special player. And the reason why they drafted him in the first place is because they believe Godwin is going to be injured for a little while. So you get a guy that can come in right away, be like Chris Godwin, be a professional, be able to run consistent routes and catch the ball consistently, unlike a rookie would do coming into this league.
Yeah, I don't want them to give. I don't want him to get too much pressure because usually that ends up in mistakes, if not injuries. So we'll see how they do on that offensive side of the ball and the wide receiver core. But I will say I was not impressed with that offensive line today. I was not impressed with the running game today either. I thought it was just terrible.
Yeah, well, it wasn't good. It wasn't good. It definitely needs to be corrected, especially those first 4 games, because especially on that left side, you know that the Atlanta Falcons have Pierce Jr. there, also drafted the kid from Georgia. So they have 2 young pass rushers. They're going to get after it. You know, Raheem Morris is going to go after that left side. So the Bucs are going to definitely have to adjust and help him out. How is that going to affect your passing game? How is it going to affect your running game without Tristan Wirfs? If he can't start, we assume he's not going to be able, but you never know. We'll see. Again, don't play. I'm not a doctor. Don't play one on TV. So we'll see how that all works out going forward. And then you're exactly right. You know, your offense has to be balanced. You're depending on Bucky Irving and Rashad White when he's healthy and Sean Tucker. So it's definitely going to take the pressure off of that passing game. So definitely
I really
some concerns.
think that the Bucs are going to rely more on the running game than the passing game itself. So
well, you better open up some holes.
Actually, but then again, maybe not.
Well,
because Tristan being out and all that stuff going on there, and you know, it's going to be tough. I don't know how Todd Bowles is going to work all this out, but hey, we still have 2 to 3 weeks until opening kickoff.
You're correct.
So, you know, we got some work. We got some time for guys to heal up. The good news is I stand corrected. They are not starting any starters next week. So rest them starters up, get everybody healthy, see what's going on with Jalen McMillan, guys like that. Let's see what these young studs that are trying to make the last couple roster spots do. And then I think next week's going to be a good week. But man, I was happy with what I saw out of Bridgewater, but man, I gotta say, Kyle Trask is the highlight of my disappointment tonight.
Yeah, he's definitely one of those. I think Jamel Dean and Kyle Trask take the cake.
And Jamel Dean, I didn't even mention that, but I mentioned that earlier. But,
I know you did. I know you did.
Hey, we'll see what happens. But hopefully, like I said, hopefully the injuries, because I'm telling you right now, I'm giving you a bold prediction right now.
Give it to me.
You have to win that week 1 against the Falcons, and that is no exceptions. I don't care what you have to do. You have to win that week 1. To me, I don't know why.
Well, it counts
Peter,
for 2. Well, it counts for 2 in the division, and because you got swept by that team. And if you're the top team in the NFC South, which we definitely think the Bucs are because of what they did last year, the momentum in the second half and the talent that they brought back in the offseason. And what they have coming there with Hassan Reddick on defense, and Savasier Dennis played tonight and was good to see him. And again, Yaya Diaby and Kalijah Kancey. But the talent on both sides of the ball, you would think, would win this NFC South. So it is a big game because not only is it a divisional opponent, counts for 2, but you just want to make a statement, right? That you are the top team in the NFC South still, no matter what anybody says about how great the Atlanta Falcons are with all their weapons.
At the end of the day, we're what? We've won what? 5 in a row now?
Four-time NFC South champions. There you go.
Peter, the last thing I want to add before I go.
Yes.
If you don't mind, my friend.
Go.
Yeah. I know what it was because it's so late, man.
It happens.
It's going to come down to the defense. So, who was the other cornerback that we signed in the draft? You got
Parrish,
Morrison,
Jacob Parrish.
I
Impressive.
think those 2 are they have to be you. I just don't see the Bucs going into week 1. I think they would be doing a disjustice if they
disservice
put Dean over these 2 guys. I'm sorry, but
I think
our defense really struggled.
I think you're in
year,
for a rude awakening, my friend. I definitely think Jamel Dean's going to start. Zion McCollum's going to start. He showed something tonight, had an interception, definitely one of the bright spots on this defense. And I think eventually one of these players, especially a Parrish, maybe he's on the field as a nickel now with Christian Izzian and that injury. Maybe they figure out something. And I think, again, Morrison, when Dean decides to get hurt or inconsistent, and when Morrison is healthy, will take over that starting spot. Alex, appreciate the call as always, my friend, here on the Evolution. We'll see you on Monday night,
buddy.
all right? All right.
Yep, have a go, my friend.
All right, good stuff there. We'll give him this.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we'll wrap it up here. Let's go ahead and read the comments, and then we will get out of here for the night. Open phone lines if you do want to call up and talk about the Bucs' big win over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, it's second preseason game, 17-14, 727-255. 0391 at 727-255-0391. Let's see. Exactly. The Trask experiment is over. Dilfer 2.0. Mike says, don't take preseason so serious. It's basically a joke now. I think eventually it's going to be lowered down to 2 games and you have an 18-game season. I could see the NFL doing that. And you think about it, like the 2020 didn't even have a preseason, right? And guess what happened? Everybody started out just fine in the NFL regular season. So Chukwuma is going to be better than Heck. Still raw prospect there. I'm not sure. They're going to go with Heck. Tess is a beast. Mike says a race just went up 2-1. They won. So that is, thank you very much, Mike, for that.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate the update. Christopher Cole, let's hope that McMillan's neck brace is just precautionary. Christopher Cole, Bulls time management at the end of the game was great. There you go. That was a great comment. Absolutely was. You couldn't fault that. Running the clock down to precision. Maybe that Jacksonville coach they hired there worked out so far. Definitely give Todd Bowles credit for that with the game management situation, as that's been one of the things that Bucs fans do not like. You had to like that tonight. Where's the Super Bowl game this year? San Francisco, Santa Clara. When are the final cuts coming up? I believe in a couple after the third preseason game, which is on Saturday there. So props the Bucs time management coach for the smart clock management for Coach Bowles right there.
Oh, yeah.
Very good. Joshua says we can call it what it is, a waste of space. Tammy Young says, blessed evening, fam. Blessed to you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Christopher Cole, Vildor looked like he got banged up late in the third quarter. Parrish starting nickel. Vildor looks like he's cornerback 4. Green and Miller legit. Agree. Tez will get better. Gaines played well. He did. He made some tackles there on the defensive line. Will there ever be a Sports Web on the road? That would be awesome. We definitely would love that if we're on the road. My plans are Radio Row one of these days for the Super Bowl. How about Radio Row and have kind of like the same thing there, Mike DeRoche. Oh, Canada. Have the same type of experience with NFL athletes and celebrities during NFL Radio Row. Love to have that happen. Uncle D right there. Congratulations on your win. Appreciate you.
Oh, yeah.
Scott right there, buddy. Hope you are doing well. Hope you're doing well. Hopefully the Lakeland Dreadnoughts won tonight, as I know you were watching both games or keeping track of it, my friend.
Yes.
Let's go out to David here. Peter, who do you give the game ball to on offense and defense? To me, it's unequivocally the game ball goes to Teddy Bridgewater with his performance tonight. Again, Leo Word with that 6 for 11, 85 yards, 2 touchdowns to come in and just engineer and just, methodically go down the field there with great throws and precision and hitting his wide receivers and hitting all his throws. I think it's Teddy Bridgewater. Don't you? Damn it, Jim. Let's go out to you.
Damn it, Jim. What the hell's the matter with you?
Let's go, Peter Blake on the Sports Web. Let's go, my friend. Appreciate you. Raised 2-1 over the Giants, so they are still alive. Peter, I hear everyone talking about a great wide receiving depth. However, you can never have enough, especially with the Godwin situation. There's one veteran free agent that can start if needed. What's your feeling on Amari Cooper? Is he still in the league? Because let me check this out. I thought he was picked up. The tough thing about this is when you go and pick up a wide receiver, and he is still out there. He is 31 years old. The tough thing about picking up a wide receiver, Scott, and it's a great idea, is that you're going to have to learn this offense, and you have to learn it late. So what kind of impact can you make? I think they're going to go with what they have. He's out there. I don't know. Hopefully you don't have to go out there and get a wide receiver like that, because that's risky, especially with them not knowing the offense. But 31 years old, can he stay healthy? Hasn't necessarily been able to stay healthy. Can he contribute? I don't know. We'll see. People are saying that Ted McMillan is the best wide receiver in the draft. I don't think they know what they're talking about. Again, let them talk and let Ibuka go out there and outperform. But, of course, McMillan, highly drafted wide receiver, a lot of comparisons from Arizona State, same body type, if you will, comparisons to Mike Evans. Of course, that's what you do with McMillan, getting him for the Panthers with Bryce Young, give him those weapons so he can progressively get better and build off of that second half from last year. Can we get this clown off the phone? He won't shut up. Move on to someone who's interesting, please. Frank, we allow everybody to talk and call in. If you want to call in, 727-255-0391. Who you got in tonight's game? Who played two quarterbacks this preseason? Again, it was Teddy Bridgewater, Kyle Trask, and Connor Balzalak. I believe I pronounced his name correctly. I wouldn't want to be Dean on film day. Carl says trash is done. Pensman Sports, thank you very much for tuning in. Remember, hey, Peter, good game as a Steelers fan / content creator. Good fight for a game. Absolutely.
Yes!
Let's go out to Pensman again. I was on with you, the Sports Nut Show with you. Thank you very much for tuning in. Christopher Cole, NBC broadcast has been bad lately. Mike says, are we talking about Teddy? I think we were. I love me some Teddy, but are we talking about Teddy? Yes. Rays win. Yes. Good stuff.
Ooh, yeah.
D. Roche, not D. Roche's. Ha, ha, ha. Let's see here. Rolf Steinbauer. Rays win. Rays win. Bucs win. Absolutely. Good stuff.
Wait up, little boy. Good. Wait up.
Good stuff. Bucs win. That's always a good thing. We do the victory here.
Victory!
All right. Let's go on to Mike here. Reliever. Jake figured it out. And Mike H. Useda is Ray's best reliever. Let's hope so. And then, of course, right on cue here as I'm about to end the show. I didn't think she was tuning in, but, she always does. My beautiful mother, go friend her on Facebook, my future agent of this show, watching the best sports talk show in the Tampa Bay area, the Sports Web. Bucs win. Bucs do win.
Wait up, little boy. Wait up. It's exciting. How about them Bucs, baby?
Even with your favorite quarterback struggling tonight, Mom. All right, so enough with that. Again, just to reset here, Bucs win 17-14 over the Pittsburgh Steelers to go to 2-0 in the preseason. Next up, the Buffalo Bills come to town at Raymond James Stadium. We got you live here after the game, along with the JP Peterson show live on the field after it. No matter what, we got you covered here on the Sports Web. Like and subscribe to the Sports Web on YouTube. Friend me on Facebook at Peter H. Blake. If you like the content, give to it. Facebook stars, YouTube super chats, and do three things as we wrap it up for the night as you go into your victory Sunday morning. Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake, your Rolex reporter. What time is it? It's my time. And of course, for the webheads, fans of the Sports Web, the JP Peterson fans, and all the Tampa Bay sports fans, it's your time. Bucs win 17-14 over the Steelers. We'll see you next time on the evolution of Sports Talk Television. As we always say on this show to end it off, go Bucs and have a good night. Happy Sunday, and we'll see you on Monday night on the evolution of Sports Talk Television.